Hey guys, my name is Alex Wright, and I'm doing my biographical presentation on a guy named Charlie Chaplin. I decided to go a different route and make a video instead of doing a PowerPoint presentation, although I did make a PowerPoint presentation, and I'll probably incorporate it in this video. Let's get started. So a little bit about Charlie Chaplin is that he was born on April 16, 1889, a little while back ago, over 100 years ago. And then he died. He's actually dead now. He died on Christmas in 1977. So who was he? He was a silent film actor. He starred in movies such as The Kid, Modern Times, The Immigrant, The Tramp, stuff like that. He even won an Oscar, if I'm not wrong about that. But yeah, he won an Oscar. And what he's known for in Hollywood, especially, is his character, the Tramp. The Tramp was this kind of like goofball character. He wore a bowler hat with a cane, walked like a clown a little bit with his feet sideways. And the Tramp character for Charlie Chaplin appeared in over 70 movies in just 26 years. So that was definitely his signature for sure. And he was the first actor to appear on the cover of Time magazine in 1925. So now that you know a little bit more about Charlie Chaplin, I highly suggest check out some of his films. You can find them on YouTube. I'll even post some in the description. But yeah, check him out. He's really funny for being films in the 1920s, first films ever made. Really, really fascinating for the product that he presented to an audience. So in relating Charlie to being liberally educated, I just wanted to kind of relate him back to some of the texts that we read this semester. The texts that I wanted to relate to were The Woodcarver, The Allegory of the Cave, Only Connect, and then I kind of wanted to sum up this video with my own thoughts and relate Charlie Chaplin to liberal education in a sense of my own thinking and based off of my own interpretation and my own definition of what it means to be liberally educated. So for the first point, in relating Charlie Chaplin to The Woodcarver by Chang Zhu, I think that's how you say his last name and first name, but I always butcher people's names. I wanted to show how Charlie Chaplin was or is liberally educated in relation to the text, and I have the book right here, woohoo. And I just wanted to read the last section of The Woodcarver, and it says, "My own collected thought encountered the hidden potential in the wood. From this live encounter came the work which you ascribe to the spirits." So, in other words, the woodcarver saw that bell stand in the tree, and in doing that, he erased his mind of praise and criticism, gaining success. He forgot that, and he forgot his body. So he just had this clear mind, and then he finally just made this work of art, which you ascribe to the spirits. And in relating this back to Charlie Chaplin, and really actors in general, I like to think that they clear their mind in order to get into character, in order to act for a movie. Charlie Chaplin especially, because take a look at his character, the Tramp, for example. He wears the bowler hat. He kind of walks weird, and he has the cane. It's an iconic character in really any movie, and people are copying that today. But nonetheless, you have to like clear your mind, and you have to like view the image. You have to view your product in what you want to act like before you actually do it, just like how the woodcarver did that. So in relating this back to him being liberally educated, I think Charlie Chaplin has the ability to clear his mind, and he can escape from being praised or being criticized. He forgets that, and he just wants to make a good-looking product in the end without being praised or criticized. He forgets his body, and he just acts like a tramp, as funny as that sounds. For the second relation, I'm going to relate the Allegory of the Cave to Charlie Chaplin. And I have the book again. On page 52, Plato states, "But anyone with any understanding would remember that the eyes may be confused in two ways and from two causes, namely when they've come from the light into the darkness and when they've come from the darkness into the light." So what's Plato's saying right here is that people can come from different backgrounds and not have the same understanding of reality as the background that they're in, or as the reality that they're in. So for example, if someone came from background A and they went into a B society, they may not understand that B reality. And if someone, the vice versa situation, if someone came from the B background and they went into the A reality, they might not adapt to that. But relating that back to the first line of understanding, as I just go back to the page really quickly, I think that's what Charlie Chaplin understands so well, is Plato states, I'll state it again, "But anyone with any understanding would remember that the eyes may be confused in two ways and from two causes." The key word right there is understanding. I think Charlie Chaplin does understand that the eyes can be confused in these ways, and seeing as how he's being filmed and his actions, everything that he acts on screen is going to be presented to a viewer. So he has to understand viewers' backgrounds, and I think that's the beauty of it, because he can act astonishingly to people from all different backgrounds, whether you're rich, poor, no matter your class. His characters for that matter are very effective, and I think it's through that understanding is where he can present such a powerful character in The Tramp and through all of his films. So my third point that I'm relating back to Charlie Chaplin is William Cronin's Only Connect list of 10. And upon going through the list again, I don't think Charlie Chaplin relates to it that much. I do think he's liberally educated, but I don't think that this list is the only things in life that define what is to be liberally educated. Because like going through the early points in the list, such as they listen and they hear, they read and they understand, they can talk with anyone, they can write clearly, persuasively, and movingly, can solve a variety of puzzles. I mean, Charlie was an actor. Of course, he could understand, he could listen and hear because he has to do so much with other actors. So he has to listen and hear to other people. He can understand what they say, what they write and stuff. Definitely can talk to anyone because he presents himself on the big screen. So he has to talk non-verbally to people through his silent films. But as for some of the other points, such as they practice humility, tolerance, and self-criticism, understand how to get things done in the world, I don't think Charlie had those things in his mind. If I were to relate this back to the woodcarver, like I said, I don't think Charlie had a sense of praise or criticism in his mind. He like it says in the woodcarver, he forgot his body, and he went out there and put out a good image and a good product. So he didn't have that idea of self-criticism or tolerance or humility in his mind, as it states in William Cronin's list of 10. So he didn't let these things get in his mind. He kind of went through his acting with an open mind in order to understand others and present himself in that way. So overall, I don't think he relates to this list of 10 that much, but it is through this that I think he can be understood as a liberally educated person in a different way. So just to wrap up on why I think he's liberally educated on that point is that he has the understanding. He's able to understand others as he is able to understand himself. So my last point that I wanted to focus on was the relation of Charlie Chaplin back to my own interpretation of what it means to be liberally educated. To get started with that, I guess I got to explain how I view a liberal education and what my definition of what it is to be liberally educated is. Earlier this semester, I posted that this is the first day of the semester. I said, I would say the definition would be learning and building knowledge through multiple disciplines of combined learning. What I mean by this is that people come to know things and become more open-minded through a diverse presentation of ideas and topics. So that's what I said earlier this semester, and I can agree with some of the points that I said in there. I think it's very important to be open-minded, definitely to a diverse field of topics and ideas. If we go in closed-minded to everything, then we never have the chance to blossom or grow in many aspects of our life. So I think it's important to go in with an open mind to a lot of things, because then you can truly find out who you are, what you like to do, and so many more other things, yada, yada, yada. But I would like to expand on my definition from earlier this semester. And the one word that best expands my definition of liberal education would be embracement. Embracement, in my own eyes, just means to accept, to understand, to do so many more things. But I think it's important to do three things with embracement. Embrace others is my first point. It's important to embrace others because when you embrace others, you're embracing them as a person, their ideas, and everything. You don't view them as a bad person for having certain ideas or for acting a certain way. You embrace them for the diverse person that they are. You embrace and accept and learn from their differentiation in the world. So it's important to embrace others. And the second point was to embrace ideas. I think it's so important to do this, seriously, especially through learning this semester. 2 points in mind that I wanted to embrace is embrace curiosity. It's important to embrace curiosity because then you find your fascinations in life. You learn so much, just as Jumping Mouse did. He was curious as to what that roaring noise was, so he embraced this curiosity and went out in the world to go find what that was. In Plato's Allegory of the Cave, embrace the light and embrace curiosity to go find out what the light is or what the darkness is, really. And then embrace the open mind. It's important to do this because, like I said earlier, through my previous definition. And then my last point of embracement is embrace yourself, because once you embrace yourself, I think you can really present a pure image of yourself as the woodcarver did, and really as Charlie Chaplin does. After he embraced himself, he can take characters in movies, such as he can take the character of the tramp, and he embraces that so much that he's perfected it to a point to where it's viewed as such an art to audiences. And it's through that embracement to where he has created something really, really cool in the world. So it's important to embrace others, ideas, and yourself. And Charlie Chaplin does all of these, and it is through these, and it is through his liberal education as to what makes him so good as an actor, and I'd like to think as a person. So that wraps it up for my biographical presentation on Charlie Chaplin. So be sure to check him out. Check out the links in the description. And yeah, thanks for viewing this video. See ya.